Today's video is in part of this collaboration with my dear friend Aurea from DIY with Aurea. So I'm going to tell you more about her later, but let's jump right into today's projects. So for project number one, I'm going to start off with these large cocoa cans that I got from work. We do use a lot of cocoa as I am a baker. So what I wanted to do first, of course, is I removed the labels and most of the adhesive. And now I'm just simply going to go in with my Tim Holtz shears and remove that lip from around the top of these containers. I love these containers because they are really nice and large, a very good size. So once I have the lip removed from one, I'm going to do this to the other as well. I found these really nice gold, I guess you can say geometric pattern kind of pouches from the Dollar Tree. So what I'm going to do is simply go ahead and cut these down. So as you know, I don't really care for gold too much, but for some reason with this collaboration, I was really feeling the gold color. Aurea wanted to reach out to me because she said she knew that I love glam and glitz. So I'm so honored to be participating in this collaboration with her. So now that I have my two pieces cut out of that pouch, now I'm going to go ahead and take my hot glue and I'm going to go ahead and attach this to the one side or the front side of these cocoa containers. As you see, I'm just simply measuring and I'm going to cut away the excess that I do not need. Once I have the excess cut away, I am now going to go ahead and bring in my hot glue and glue this to the front or whichever side you decide to be your front of these containers. Now, looking back in hindsight, I wish I had actually placed the glue on the container first because you could actually see some of the glue marks from the hot glue is kind of like distorted this material, but nonetheless, it still turned out beautiful. If you decide to create these later on, just keep that in mind. Put the adhesive down on the container first. And of course, I'm going to repeat this step on the second container. So these are coming together because I'm actually really loving that chocolate brown with the gold. It's really nice. But I'm going to take this a step further. So now to go ahead and just hide a little bit of where we cut the lip of that container off, I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of this beautiful silver and gold gemstone wrap that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. I've just cut it down to 3 strands. You can use whatever trim you would like, whatever trim you desire. This trim, by me taking this trim and gluing it around as far as I am, this is actually going to help us in the next step. And all of this excess paper that you see on the side, I'm not worried about it because I am totally going to cover this up. So now that the trim is on both of my containers, now I want to go ahead and bring in a little bit of faux fur. Again, this is supposed to be a very glitzy, glam collaboration. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take one of these, like the almost faux fur, I think it's like a car towel for your car. I'm going to take this, fold it in half, hot dog ways or long ways, cut this down the middle, and then we will, of course, end up with 2 pieces. So if you haven't figured out so far, we are going to wrap this faux fur around our container. So as you see, when I place my container on top of this, the material is still just a little bit too wide. So to go ahead and bring the width down, I'm going to go ahead and create 2 hems on each side of this material. And to do so, you see I'm just simply taking hot glue. I ran a nice bead of this hot glue down each side and I just turn my hem over. You guys, these projects are so easy, but they are so glam, so glitzy, which you know I love. And with the holidays coming up, I think these will really help make an impact. So now that that step is complete with my material, both sides have a hem in them. Now I'm going to go ahead and begin to hot glue this material to the back of my container. making sure that the length on either side is pretty even. So now comes the part where we are going to start wrapping this material around our container. Now to do this, I'm just simply going to go ahead and take one side of it, and I'm going to actually hot glue as I gather and fold. Now this trim that I showed you when we put as much around it as we did around the top, this is actually going to help us hide some of the areas that we're not really able to cover with that material, if that makes sense. So as you see, I'm gluing as I go, making sure that everything is nice and solid before I continue to move on. So now to get these gathers, I'm just simply gathering up the material where I need it to be gathered. And I'm just simply going to go ahead and cut off the excess. And I'm sorry for being out of the frame. I'm going to cut off the excess, and then I will actually begin to manually and individually form my gathers. And as I form my gathers, I'm just simply going to go ahead and hot glue these down. I really love how this project turned out. I really think it's actually quite adorable myself. So when you're doing this step, please take your time throughout this whole process. Again, you don't want to rush this because you want your gathers to look really nice. You want it to everything to be cohesive. You don't want anything like the brown peeking out from around the sides. So take your time with this. So now I'm just simply going to go ahead and repeat the same step on the other side of this. Again, taking my time with this, making sure that I don't have any of the brown peeking through. Now, you guys, if you wanted to use like a nice satin, you could use satin to do this. You could use any kind of color, any kind of print that you would want. Take this and customize it. Again, as I always say, make it to your own taste. So now I'm going through this showing you because I want you to see how I am, again, taking my time gathering this material, but also how I'm going to let the gathers overlap the first set of those gathers. So my gathers are finished. My project has been wrapped. So all I'm going to do is just simply take a brooch that I have, and I'm just going to hot glue this right in the middle. And our project is actually finished. So at the end, I'm going to show you how this looks when everything is set up. I love how these turned out. Absolutely gorgeous. So now I want to take a moment to tell you about my dear friend Aurea. Please go check her out. Please make sure that you go subscribe to her. She's a wonderful crafter and she's an awesome person. So now on to project number 2. I'm going to take this pumpkin that I picked up from the not Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I picked it up for half off. So I want to take this and make it to like something really glamorous. So what I'm going to do is take this these metal flakes that I got from the Dollar Tree. They're $3 per container. And then I'm just going to take some hot glue and run this around the stem of this pumpkin. And then as you see, I'm just going to take these pieces of the metal flakes and I am just going to go ahead and make sure that I place this into that glue. When I'm placing this into the glue, of course, I gotta be careful about my fingers. I did burn my fingers maybe about 3 times doing this. So I'm just gonna take my time making sure that I have put that foil paper into that glue. And that's what the stem looks like once that step is complete. So a couple of videos ago, I actually painted these leaves with paint, and then I added a little bit of glitter on top. So now I'm going to take those same leaves and I'm just going to go ahead and glue these around my pumpkin and at a diagonal angle. And this is really going to take this pumpkin to a whole nother level. with these leaves, the maple leaves and the oak leaves. The textures of these are wonderful. And as you see, the paint that I chose was just regular gold paint. And then also I took some gold and silver and mixed it. And then I just simply dusted those leaves with a little bit of glitter. And this took those leaves to the next dimension. And those leaves are now taking this pumpkin to a whole nother glamorous level. If you wanted to, you could always come in and add some gemstones to it. You could add some of those clear acrylic stones, some gold stones. The sky is truly the limit, and there are so many possibilities with this. I love how this pumpkin turned out. It turned out absolutely gorgeous. So you guys, please go check out my friend Aurea, because when I say that lady is talented, she is truly like talented. She knows what she's doing, and she's such a sweet person. She's so humble. I love her dearly. Please go check her out. So now my pumpkin is complete, and this is what it looks like. Completely adorable. So let's move on to our third and final project. So in today's collaboration, we had to take a vase and we had to repurpose it into something totally high end. So I'm going to take this old vase that I had laying around from the Dollar Tree, literally laying around, and I'm going to begin using my hot glue, and I'm going to go ahead and draw my pattern with this glue, and I'm going to go ahead and start placing my acrylic gemstones from the Dollar Tree, as well as those diamond dazzlers from Hobby Lobby. And I'm going to create again that diagonal angle going up the side of this vase. Now with this glue, it will dry and it will be cloudy in the gemstones. However, towards the end, when I got to looking at it, I actually kind of like that cloudiness, because it kind of added a little bit of characteristic and a little texture from the clarity of the glass. So now once I have those gemstones laid down in the glue, now I'm going to go ahead and bring in some of these little miniature vase fillers that you see from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to lay down some glue around the bottom half of these gemstones, and I'm just going to fill in those spaces. And again, this is going to add more texture to this, and it's just really going to add that sparkle that I really want and like. So now I'm going to show you how everything turned out. I believe that this repurposed material video came out absolutely wonderful. I love how my gold containers came out. Who would know that those were cocoa powder containers? I love how that faux fur looks with the gold and the sparkling of those brooches. This pumpkin, I must say, I think that she is in a class, in a league of her own. Those leaves, I think, really just class it up. And I must say that may be one of my favorites in this video. So with today's video, again, please go check out my dear friend Aurea. She's a wonderful crafter. She's a wonderful person, and she's super sweet. So with this vase, as you see, I just simply added a brooch to the top, and this just made this come to life. Well, I hope that you all enjoyed today's video. Please go check out my friend Aurea, again, her channel, and also her video. As always, my prayer for you is that you continue to stay blessed in Jesus' name.